I have one, but I don't.
Well, see, and Pam's got it, and she washes the dishes to put them in the dishwasher.
She washed, she's one of
Yes, she's one of them.
Call this meeting to order of the Hawarden City Council. This is a regular council meeting at the Hawarden City Hall. It's Wednesday, September 11th, 2024 at 5:30. If you look at
Happy 9/11.
September 9/11, correct. You take a look at your agenda. Are there any changes that need to be made? Christy, did you want to table?
Yeah, I
Right.
talked to Gary a couple days ago. I'd like to table those two items.
Okay. So if there's no objection, we'll table the first reading of ordinance 753, revising chapter 55 of the Hawarden City Code, which deals with animal protection and control. And item 7, the first reading of ordinance 754, revising chapter 56 of the Hawarden City Code, which deals with dangerous, vicious animals. Jumping into our agenda then, we've got approval of the August 28th, 2024 regular council meeting minutes. Could I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. 1B, approval of the September 11, 2024 claims for payment. Is there any questions before we go into a motion?
I have none.
Okay.
I have none.
May I get a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the September 11th claims for payment.
And a second?
I'll second.
it. Go ahead, Chris.
Christie's got the second. All those in favor of approving the September 11th, 2024 claims for payment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Passes 3-1. At this time, we'll have open business from the community. Is there anyone that would like to speak tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to the mayor's report. I will be attending the Iowa League of Cities annual conference. It's in Sioux City this week. This annual conference is spread out among the state, and we're lucky that it's in Sioux City this year. Next year it could be in Dubuque or someplace like that. But that will be next week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There'll be mayors from all over the state, and there'll be dozens of workshops and exhibitors. So I'm looking forward to that. Would like to congratulate Chamber Director Julie Coyle and her team for organizing a great Labor Day weekend with a parade, vendors, food, fireworks, and many other fun activities. Also, kudos to Dave Pusey and the Historical Society for their work providing activities and access to the Historical House and Calliope Village. And there were many other organizations and individuals who contributed to a fun weekend. We thank everyone who participated. The Hawarden Food Pantry is moving. They are asking for help to move all of their items from the Hawarden American Lutheran Church to their new location. This will be this coming Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. They're asking you to meet at the Hawarden American Lutheran Church. There will be a clothing giveaway Saturday, September 28th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for residents who were directly affected by the flood. It's open to the public from 12 to 3 p.m. So it's all free, but those that were affected by the flood get first choice from 10 to 12 and open to the public from 12 to 3 o'clock, September 28th. This is being organized by Maddie Floto and Julie Coyle, and will be held in the street between the old People's Bank Building and the old City Hall. If you're interested in volunteering, please contact Julie at the Chamber or Maddie at the library. That's all I have tonight. We'll move on to staff reports. Gary?
My report tonight is basically a question for the council. Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're trying to plan ahead here and schedule so that we have scheduling some of our items in the future. We can do so and make sure we don't have a problem with that. So Thanksgiving and Christmas, Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, obviously, and Christmas is on a Wednesday, which is a council day, and I'm just wondering if you guys have a preference as to whether you want to not meet on the Wednesday prior to Thanksgiving, and obviously on Christmas Day. I don't imagine you'd want to meet, but or do you have any thoughts?
Not on Christmas Day, I wouldn't think.
No.
I would, that one, I
You prefer to have a meeting at some other point, a second meeting in the month of December, or do you?
I think if
prefer
we're
to-
able to do it in the first meeting, unless something comes up and we need a special meeting, we always would come together
Okay.
and move it along, kind of like I would think the same for like Thanksgiving,
So-
like the first one, and then maybe, I don't, when does
It looks like it's the
when's-
13th and the 27th,
Oh,
the second
okay, it's
before. So
after.
it's going to be before, the week
Oh, we're
before
okay.
Thanksgiving and the week after,
Okay.
but it's whatever you guys want to do.
so it would be
And
okay, probably.
I think in the past too, we've done that before where it's just one meeting
Right.
for that month.
Right.
So that would be my vote or my suggestion.
Okay. I just want to do some
Yeah.
pre-planning for some of the things that need to be scheduled, so, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Tracy, do you have anything tonight?
No, nothing to report at this time.
Travis?
This morning I met with the NCC heavy equipment class and the instructor just to look over the job and the work that'll be done, and they should start next week cleaning up Avenue D. Substation transformers are ready to ship. The first one will arrive September 23rd. We received the updated cost. There were 6 items listed in the escalation, de-escalation schedule. The overall increase per unit was $8,000, $8,757. Copper, steel, some of them went up and some of them actually went down. So I'll have that spreadsheet for you, and I'll attach it to the request for payment at the next council meeting. Citywide cleanup is scheduled for everything not flood-related, October 4th, 5th, and 6th. That'll run like normal. And then we've decided to end the flood debris cleanup October 6th. So we have to have a deadline, or we'll just keep going on. So October 6th will be the end of the flood debris cleanup, and citywide cleanup for everything not flood-related will be October 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Thank you.
Travis, I have a question with that. Avenue D cleaning, are they also going to clean up at the city shop, all of the sandbags that are still present there?
No, we're gonna have to empty those. We'll have to get a skid loader, they're already breaking apart because
Right.
they're biodegradable, but we'll need to bust them all up, throw the sandbags. They have to make sure they make it to the landfill per FEMA.
Time consuming.
Yep, so that's a fall project,
Yeah.
kind of once we get caught up, and then we'll just pile that all up.
Okay. Chief DePriest?
Nothing to report.
Carol?
Not much to report, just been busy with the USDA now, working with them, looking forward to a couple of the opportunities that just opened up with them. IEDA's got a couple of things going on. I'm going to have a meeting at the end of the month with them. Other than that, just a lot of business opportunities moving, kind of unusual for this time of year, but we'll get going on those.
Okay, thank you. And Jenny?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. Moving on to other agenda items, then item 3, conduct a scheduled hearing on dog bite following citizen complaint with possible action. So we will open the hearing at 5:41. And Chief, would you review the letter that you wrote?
So on August 27th of 2024, I took a complaint from a citizen who was on a walk past 17th and F and was bitten by a dog. The dog then went back to its home at 1622 F. There was minor injuries sustained by the citizen, but per the ordinance, it has been brought for a hearing before the council.
Okay. Any questions on that?
Did the bite result in hospitalization,
It did not.
medical care?
No, it was offered and declined.
Thank you.
Other questions from the council? Do we have anyone in our audience that would like to speak to this?
Good evening.
Could you state your name, please?
Kathy Winterfeld. I'm
Thank you.
the daughter of Kurt Winterfeld. I would first like to apologize to the council now, as my sister and I are going to do our best to try to get through this without too much difficulty, because these past several months, especially the past 7 weeks, have been very difficult for us. I would also like to say that although I have my own personal doubts and questions regarding this particular incident, as I was not there, there were no other witnesses, and the evidence produced to me, I do have my questions. But I do understand and respect the council's concerns regarding this particular concern of the community, and I respect the processes involved. I would also like to say that I am sorry that this incident occurred, and I am sorry that the victim was injured, and unfortunately, if it did occur as she has stated, I have no explanation for it because it has never happened before. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a background, I actually am the one that adopted the dog in question, Jess. I adopted her in 2016 from the Longmont Humane Society. But when I moved to Minnesota, despite my best efforts to move her there with me, with the long hours that I worked with my job, it didn't work out for her and was not in her best interest. So my parents graciously stated that they would care for her and allow her to live there. So she moved back in with my parents and has been there permanently since 2019. As a matter of fact, when my mom would say that she was my dog, I would always jokingly say, nope, she's your dog, I just pay child support. So in that time, my mom became Jess's person. So even when I would come home to visit, Jess would jump up in my lap, she'd get excited, she'd give me kisses, and then she would go right back to my mom. And then she spent every night sleeping on my mom's pillow. She sat by her all day, every day in her chair. When my mom became sick in late 2019, Jess was a constant by her side, always making sure that she would rest when she needed to and giving her loves. When I say that I'm having a hard time understanding it, I will give you a little bit of a background. When my mom broke her hip in May and was hospitalized in the Haywarden Hospital for a time, I brought Jess to the hospital to see her, and she sat next to my mom with no issues. The nurses and the therapists came in during that time. They did what they needed to do with my mom, and Jess never made a peep. She never made a move. She just laid by my mom's side. There's never been any previous incidents with anybody outside. Dad has worked out in the yard with her, and people will walk by, or the kids in the neighborhood will ride their bikes by. even when it's on our side of the street, and she will give a few barks just to let him know that she's there, and then she just goes about her own business. My parents have taken her camping many, many times, and not once has there been an incident during any of these cases. I do believe that this is an isolated incident, and as I said, I don't have an explanation for it if this is what occurred. As I said, my mom was Jess's person, and I truly believe that she is grieving at the loss of her just as the rest of us are. The difference is we understand that Mom is not coming back. She does not. She's always been an indoor dog, and the majority of the time she only goes outside is to go to the bathroom, or if one of us was working outside and she is with us. She just has no interest to be outside. Also, she is 15 years old. She's started to lose her sight, and she has joint issues where sometimes her one leg catches and she has to hop on 3 legs when she hops down off of chairs and off of couches. So as I said before, I don't have an explanation if this is what happened, because it has never ever happened before, but I do know that putting forth a punishment that would take Jess away from my dad at this time where he is already grieving loss of my mom, the love of his life for almost the past 60 years, would be detrimental to his healing. Jess is the only constant companionship that he has, and Dad and I, and all of us, are willing to put forth whatever extra effort we need to be sure that no further incidents occur. As a matter of fact, we've been making sure that we're keeping a constant eye on her, letting sure that we're putting, when we let her out, she goes in the backyard instead of the front yard, and all of those things. So just to make sure that nothing further ever happens. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christy Bruner, and I am the daughter of Kurt Winterfeld. My dad has been a lifelong citizen of Hawarden and Ireton and never had a complaint about him. Everyone in the town knows that my mom passed away 7 weeks ago, and Jess was her dog. She is grieving just like we are. In this case, we don't have any proof on either side of the story of where this really happened and what happened. I do understand the process that needs to happen with the city ordinance and taking the matter into consideration. Taking my mom's dog away from my dad would not be in his best interest. He told me that he would make sure he goes outside for when she goes to the bathroom. This is the only time she goes. And I also live next door to him, so when he's out of town, I take care of letting her out and going to the bathroom. And I stand there while she goes to the bathroom and let her back in the house. All my dad has left is my mom's dog and his cat. Otherwise, he is home alone every night after being with my